session. Just give everyone a minute to climb in whilst we're getting set up, but should it be more than a minute? Sweet, we're live on Facebook, we'll go live on TikTok, and we'll go live on Instagram. Perfect. Welcome everyone. Welcome everyone. Back for Sunday's live session. It's going to be a good one today. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Jade's very excited. um, it's a Sunday evening or Sunday afternoon, Sunday evening here, Monday morning here. I'm just going to give everyone a minute to jump in, and then we'll get into today's session. It's going to be a slightly shorter session today, hard stop at past. So we'll try and get as much teaching, as much education, as much learning in before that. But today's going to be a good one. We're going to be talking about diabetes today, managing the blood sugar. It's actually a topic we spoke about, kind of one of those just before Christmas, New Year sessions. Um, but I wanted to do it again with the new show format. And I've written the guide as well. So we'll jump straight into the updates for this week. I've written the guide. So the diabetes kit will now come with a full document explaining how you can basically managing your blood sugar comprehensively. So not just the herbs. What can you do from a diet perspective? What can you do from a what food should you be eating? What food should you be avoiding? What exposure should you be avoiding beyond food? What is the cause of diabetes? Because most people get that wrong. You know, what actually triggered this session? I had a consultation on, I want to say Thursday, Friday, maybe it was Thursday. And yeah, the person I was speaking to first, they said when I jumped on the phone, I just want to say thank you. They said they'd been struggling with blood sugar for years, struggling with diabetes for years. They said they tried everything. And then, kind of a bit of a last resort, really, they tried the diabetes kit on the website. And within 2 months, blood sugar returned to normal. So fantastic to hear that. You know, we don't, it's not to say that that will work in every single scenario, but for them, 2 months, blood sugar returned to normal. We see it. That's Jade in the bed. Don't worry, she's helping out in the comments because the mirror's on. Yeah. So yeah, we see it. We see it all the time. We see blood sugar. You know, one thing that I hate as a naturopath. I hate it when I see it. I hate it the way the doctors describe it. They say diabetes is irreversible. They say diabetes, I'm talking type 2 diabetes here. They say it's a type, is they say it's a lifelong condition. And the amount of times I've seen it reversed, and that's not even me taking credit for all of those scenarios. I'll jump on the phone with people and they'll say, I used to be diabetic and I reversed it. And okay, how'd you do that? Oh, I just ate the right way. It's not one of these, it's not one of these things that you need to, you know, be a strict vegan or be show master discipline for, or, you know, do all these things to reverse it. It's actually very reversible, and it can happen quickly, literally within months. So when I see people say I have type 2 diabetes, like it's this lifelong condemnment, and it's not even their fault because the doctors have told them this. This is what the doctors have said. It's a lifelong condition that you can manage with metformin and medication, but it's not something you'll be able to reverse. And that, unfortunately, is a lie. It's a straight lie because the proof is in the people that I speak to on a regular basis. Dell said, I have type 1 and I've never heard of that being reversed. So, as I said, I'm talking about type 2 diabetes here. Type 1 diabetes can kind of, it's possible to kind of bring it into remission. I'm not going to say reverse because there are different types of type 1 diabetes. So, whether that's genetic, obviously that's not going to be reversible. If it is from injury, then there's a way for the pancreas to recover and repair. If it's from viral load, viral toxins, then you can reverse that and repair that because once you get rid of the virus, the pancreas can start to heal itself, and there are herbs you can use to heal itself. So it would be, I'm not going to say type 1 diabetes is completely reversible because in some cases it's not. If it's genetic, sometimes it is. But type 2 diabetes is always reversible, always reversible. You should never write yourself off if you have type 2 diabetes. So that's kind of the precursor to today's session. Of course, we'll be keeping it in the show format, so we'll be talking about, the I'll do a summary on how diabetes actually develops for most people. We'll be talking about the biggest mistakes people make as well, which is particularly relevant for diabetes. We'll also be ranking the foods. So a chance for it to get a bit more interactive. You can let me know what foods are you eating, what have you tried for diabetes, and we can rank it out of 10. And I'll tell you why you should avoid it or shouldn't avoid it. And it'll definitely make sense once I've explained how that diabetes develops as well. Um, and then we'll also do some giveaways that we do on the lives every session now, so they're always fun. So stick around, interact. It will increase your chances of winning a giveaway. Probably only got time for one today, but there'll still be one lucky winner. And then we will also try and squeeze in some Q&A as well. So as I say, it's a shorter session today. We've got about 40 minutes left. But get your questions in. As I see them, I'll try and respond to them as well. We are live on 4 different platforms, so I might not necessarily see all the questions, but Jade is here to help as well. Jade will be on JD's Tool Drove. Jade will be Josiah underscore. Jade will see Magic Tree on TikTok. She will be Josiah Matty on Instagram, and she'll be monitoring the Facebook and YouTube comments if we're actually live on YouTube. I'm not sure if we are. So cool. That's how today's gonna run. Let's get into it. I've seen your question. So Jade, if you could store that one on TikTok for the rankings about I do high protein, low carb, steamed veg. Well, I'd actually answer that one. As I'm explaining it, I'm used to TikTok being on the right hand side. Yeah, Hugh, Mediterranean diet reversed my type 2 diabetes, my mom's type 2 diabetes. We see it all the time. Again, you don't have to do anything fancy, and there's so many ways to do it as well. The Mediterranean diet can do it. Depending how you're doing that Mediterranean diet, there are some tweaks you probably want to make to it. But anyway, let's get into it. So, why does type 2 diabetes develop? What is it? So as I kind of explained, type 1 diabetes, that's injury to the pancreas. So that's different. So type 2 diabetes, that is an issue with insulin resistance. That's what they say. They say it's a pancreas issue. But what's the real issue? What's the deep issue? The deep issue is actually the liver. Now, the liver is the most important organ when it comes to healing. The liver has over 2,000 jobs in the body, and one of those jobs is to secrete glycogen. So, glycogen is a stored form of sugar, a stored form of energy. So, basically, when you wake up in the morning, it's not cortisol that gets you up. That is your get up and go hormone, but it's not cortisol that gets you going in the morning. It's actually your liver secreting glycogen. When you have blood sugar dips, so if you don't eat for a few hours, it's your liver that gives you glycogen. That's what gives you the energy there. So I'm gonna scroll down on the comments there. So yeah, the liver is actually responsible for giving you that glycogen. That's what bumps your blood sugar up. That's what regulates your blood sugar. And then the pancreas is actually supposed to secrete insulin on more of a timetabled service. It's not supposed to be reactive. It's supposed to just do that generally. That's why eating regularly helps, eating routinely helps, because it helps train your pancreas when to secrete that insulin so that it doesn't get fatigued, so that you don't start to get insulin resistance. It also secretes glucagon, which is a hormone that basically prompts the liver to secrete glycogen. So that's what the pancreas does. So when the liver becomes overburdened, the liver cannot actually secrete glycogen when it's supposed to. Now, the liver can become overburdened for a whole host of reasons. It can be fighting viral toxins, it can be clearing heavy metals, it could be clearing alcohol, it could be clogged up with DDT. All sorts of things can keep the liver burdened, clogged up with fat, clogged up with bad sugars. All of these things can deter the liver from being able to do its job of regulating your blood sugar. Now, when the liver can't give you glycogen, then when your muscles need energy, when your muscles need glucose, your pancreas has to give you insulin so that your cells in your muscles can actually open up their doors to take in that glucose. Now, your pancreas is having to work overtime, essentially. Your pancreas is used to clocking in, does its little 10 to 1 o'clock shift, then it will do its 3 to 5 o'clock shift, maybe it does a 7 to 9 o'clock shift. But now it's like, whoa, I have to do all these extra hours. Where's this coming from? I have to do all this extra work. And the pancreas, just like everyone else that has to do overtime, when it has to do it consistently, it gets tired, it gets fatigued, it gets worn out, and then it can't give you the same quality insulin. It has to give you too much insulin. Then your cells get worn out. You're like, more insulin, really? Where's that good fructose? Where's that good fructose? I don't need insulin for fructose. Oh, where's that ATP? I just wanted that ATP. And that's what happens. Where's that glycogen? Oh, that good glycogen. I didn't want the insulin. Too much insulin, then you start to get insulin resistance or insulin insensitivity. Now, when you're having all that insulin, it doesn't actually do what it's supposed to do, and it ends up sitting in your blood. When you've got high insulin levels, that's when you get PCOS. That's when you get hormone disruption. That's when you get a whole host of issues. High insulin is bad for a lot of reasons. It messes up a lot of hormones. It messes up the HPA. It messes up the female cycle. It messes up PCOS. It can heighten testosterone in women. It can heighten estrogen in men. It can cause a lot of issues across the board. Now, then, when you have heightened levels of insulin, you get insulin resistance, and then that's when you get your A1C jumping through the roof, your HbA1c jumping through the roof, and then you get diabetes, or you get pre-diabetes first. A lot of people ignore that, or they think, oh, it's just pre-diabetes, it's not a real thing, and then they end up getting diabetes. And then you get diabetes, a lot of people, even at that point, they're like, oh, okay, I guess I got diabetes. I'll manage it. I'll take the metformin. I'll take the drugs they give me. But okay, I guess that is what it is. I've got diabetes now, so I'm not just gonna die. So I'm just gonna have to continue living. And I guess I was just unlucky. Maybe I ate a bit too much sugar, so maybe I'll just eat some sugar-free stuff instead of my full fat Coke. I'll do sugar-free Coke. I'll do sugar-free Sprite. I'll do sugar-free orange juice. I'll maybe try and cut back on the cookies with sugar and just go for sweeteners and these types of things. And that's the extent to which a lot of people are making these changes. And shock, it doesn't improve anything. The metformin doesn't improve anything. It might stabilize, but a lot of people find they're diabetic without any symptoms. So then they don't believe the diabetes diagnosis. They're like, well, I'm diabetic, but hey, I feel fine. I feel absolutely fine. So I don't really need to listen to this diabetes diagnosis. That's what a lot of people are doing as well. And then they start to get the fatigue. They start to get the dehydration. They start to get the kidney issues. They start to get the neuropathy. They start to get the thyroid issues. All of these things can happen, and that is where diabetes can become um, a real issue. You know, diabetes can kill people in and itself. Diabetes can kill people. When your blood sugar fluctuates too much, that's what can happen. So, um, look, guys, as I said, diabetes is completely reversible. We need to understand what is the real issue here. What is the real issue? And that is so yeah, over rare Godwin. This will be reposted in case you just joined. But the liver is the issue. The actual cause of type 2 diabetes is a burdened liver. That's what the cause is. Skewness kurtosis, so you're into your statistics. If you're interested, we don't do kind of blood readings on here, but if you're interested in getting a more in-depth look at what's going on in your system as well as all the systems, and you can book a consultation as well. We do consultations every week. They're all with me directly as well. So if you wanted to book that, you can do so through the website. Question, Jay, do we have the discount running still for the brain boost? I know it's not related, but I'm just curious. The one in the email yesterday. Oh, okay. All right. We'll do that after. I suppose maybe in the Q&A. So, well, yeah. I mean, it's not really related to diabetes, so we'll do it after maybe. But okay. So, all right. Let's move on to now. Now I've explained what the root cause of diabetes is. Let's move on to um Dr. Ivy. Yeah. Let's do the three biggest mistakes that I see. Let's do the three biggest mistakes. So, um, the three biggest mistakes I see in the realm of diabetes, I'd have to say would be um, definitely the keto diet. Definitely the keto diet. So, um, I saw a comment that said I do high plant-based protein, or not plant-based protein, high protein and a lot of fat. So essentially, what you're describing there is a keto diet. So I mean, the advance. I'm sorry to hear that, and this is why this information is so important. So two of my brothers passed away from diabetes in 2013 and 2015. You know, that's obviously heartbreaking, and diabetes is claiming a lot of lives simply because one, we don't know what it is, we're given the complete wrong advice, and three, a lot of people don't respect it as a real thing until it's too late. So that's what we're trying to shed the knowledge on, shed the light on today as well. So where were we? Yeah, keto diet is one of the biggest mistakes people are making when it comes to diabetes. So the reason I say that, a lot of people will find they get a diabetes diagnosis, doctor tells them to go keto, and numbers improve. Numbers at least stop increasing. Fantastic. You would think, yeah, brilliant. I'm going to stick with this keto. It's working. That is a logical thing to do, of course. Now, the problem with that is, if I simplify reversing diabetes into three main points, you need to cleanse the liver because it's a liver issue. We need to improve insulin sensitivity, which essentially means eat less sugar. And then we need to take the burden off the pancreas, which means eat less sugar. And then we need to improve insulin sensitivity, which essentially is the herbs. That's kind of what the herbs do. So the problem with the keto diet, it definitely does number two, it takes the pressure off the pancreas because you're not eating carbohydrates, you're not eating sugar, well, a lot of sugar. So that's fine. But the problem is you are still eating a load of fat, which means you're not eating for the liver. The liver does not like fat. And it also means that you are not really supporting that insulin sensitivity. You're not doing much to bring that insulin sensitivity back. Um, so I've just seen Mark the Bavara telling me I'm wrong, which is great. I love to see that. We do actually have a challenge section, so I'll come back to that comment in the challenge section and break it down. I haven't actually read it yet, but I'll break it down. Um, yeah, explaining why the keto diet is fine. So yeah, the reason why yeah, well, we'll do the challenge all in one go actually, since I'm talking about the keto diet now. So I'll explain it and then I'll read it. So yeah, the keto diet is super high in fat. All the animal, and it depends what keto diet you're doing. I'll say that if you're someone who's doing mostly broccoli, you're doing mostly, I guess, green vegetables, because root vegetables not really in the keto diet, but mostly green vegetables, and then you're doing lean meat, a little bit of lean meat, then you're probably going to be fine. But most people doing a keto diet will be, avocado and salmon for breakfast, then they'll do, yogurt with probably some nuts for lunch, and then they'll probably do a big steak and a few vegetables for dinner. Now that is so much fat. You're burning the liver. The liver does not want that much fat. The liver thrives off glucose. So that's why you're violating number one. That's the issue with the keto diet. Over time, because of that reduction in sugar, then yes, your insulin sensitivity may see short-term improvements. The burden on the pancreas does reduce, so you may see short-term improvements, but it doesn't consistently continue to bring A1C levels down into normal range. And people will say it does. Doctors might say it does. Doctors say diabetes can't be reversed. So how does that make sense? I routinely, pretty much every single week, speak to people and they say, "Oh, I was diagnosed with diabetes. I went on the keto diet. I kind of got it under control, but I can't seem to get over the hump. I can't get it back into normal range." This is what I'm describing. So I'm not saying your diabetes is going to continue to go past six into sevens, eights, nine. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you struggle to bring it back down into the fours with a keto diet. So, with that said, one second. So yeah, with that said, so Mark De Bavara has said, I know the mic will pick you up, so I'll read it. A well formulated ketogenic diet is one of the most effective nutritional interventions for type 2 diabetes. Why? Type 2 diabetes equals carbohydrate intolerance, keto equals removes the main trigger. Was there more to that one? Yeah. So look, Mark. if
in
you
science.
so Mark, if you notice what I said, I didn't actually disagree. You haven't actually disagreed with anything I've said. What I said was the keto diet helps to stabilize blood sugar and in some cases can bring it down in the short term. Now, that would by de facto make it one of the most useful interventions that we have. When I say we have, doctors use. So they'd also say metformin is one of the most useful interventions. Does it work? Not really. So um, I'm not disagreeing with that. The problem is in the long run it doesn't really help because the fat to the liver offsets the benefit of the reduction in carbohydrates. Because the problem is your liver isn't secreting glycogen. Glycogen is independent of eating carbohydrates. When you wake up in the morning, you need glycogen to get up and go. If your liver cannot do that, you have a problem, regardless of how much carbohydrates you eat. That's what you need to understand. So, Mark, I invite you to challenge that. I'm not sure there is anything to challenge. Like you said, it's science, to quote you. But I invite the challenge, and I love the challenge especially on the live sessions as well. So, okay, Mistake number mistake number two. So um I mean there's so many mistakes I see with diabetes to be honest. What I would probably say is people that are ignoring ignoring the effects or ignoring the benefits of good carbohydrates. So good carbohydrates as in certain fruits, good carbohydrates as in certain fruits and good carbohydrates in actually yeah, we'll get onto the intermittent fasting. That would be a good mistake number three. So people ignoring the benefits of certain fruits and people ignoring the benefits of root vegetable carbohydrates. They're both super important. People that think glucose is the same as fructose or fruit is the same as high fructose corn syrup is the same as fructose. It's not. It's categorically not. The reason why is because when you take glucose from a sweet potato, when you take glucose from, we'll do a glucose first. Sorry, a blueberry first. When you take a sorry sweet potato, got my words up. When you take glucose from a sweet potato, it's wrapped in potassium, it's wrapped in magnesium, it's wrapped in ash minerals, aka alkaline minerals that essentially stop the sugar from being absorbed into the blood sugar as aggressively, as quickly. It doesn't get fermented in the same way. It's very different. It's very, 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 very different. It also has the fiber. Fiber is also sugar, which they will say fiber is bad because it's still sugar. No, fiber stops the spike to the blood sugar. Sweet potato is one of the best things you can eat when you've got diabetes type 2. And shock, it is a carbohydrate. So carbohydrates are not bad. Where the keto diet would say, oh, you can't eat sweet potato, you can't eat butternut squash, you can't eat pumpkin because it's carbohydrate. It's wrong. It's incorrect. Routinely, we see diabetes reversed eating these foods. Routinely. So it's wrong. um, you know, and then when they talk about blueberries, people say, oh, well, you can't eat fruit because it's high in sugar. Blueberries less so, maybe watermelon. They'll say, oh, it's high on the glycemic index. I can't do fruit. It's wrong because the glycemic load is low. We can't ignore the glycemic load when we're looking at the glycemic index. And then they'll say, oh, well, blueberries is sugar. I mean, blueberries is more accepted. So maybe I'm using blueberries to make the point here. Um, so, you know, blueberries is 50% fructose, 50% glucose. That fructose does not need insulin to travel into the cells. It has an open door policy, free reign, key to the city. So when you're eating these high fructose fruits, you're not actually putting any pressure on your pancreas, and that's why you can get so many benefits with it. Oh, sorry, Jay, do you want to pin the diabetes kit if you have it there on the
I've
TikTok?
got the. I don't have the actual kit, but I've pinned the.
Oh, okay. So you've actually got the products. Oh, it says managing blood pressure actually on the TikTok, but it's fine to talk about diabetes. But
Oh, sorry, it's sugar. Sorry.
oh, it's fine. We've actually pinned all the herbs I'm going to get onto in the TikTok. So, and I don't want to seem like you have to sit through the whole session. I mean, it's best to get all the information, but if you want to just go straight to the herbs, they are pinned on TikTok as well. And we do have the diabetes kit on the website. But I want to give you all the actual information and knowledge first rather than just send you off to the kit without knowing what to do with it. Um, oh, is this Mark? So he said, I did I finish that? Yeah, I did finish that
You
point in the
finished it.
break, didn't I? So I see keto as a metabolic reset, not a lifelong diet. All right, so we're aligned. We're aligned, Mark. It lowers insulin. Yep. It clears liver fat in the short term, depending on what your ketogenic diet looks like. If you're eating pork chops all day, it's certainly not lowering your liver fat, even though that would still be, a keto diet. If you're eating butter and liver pork all day, but yeah, you did say a tailored ketogenic diet, so or correctly well calibrated ketogenic diet. So we're in agreement there. Improves insulin sensitivity. I did say that in the short term. And once that reset is done, you can transition to a balanced low carb or med. Look, Mark, we're on the same page. We agree, so that's good. I was hoping you'd be a bit more competitive, honestly. But no, it's good to see that we're on the same page. Um, okay, so yeah, the third mistake, or maybe the third mistake. Look, um, intermittent fasting. I hear this one all the time again. People say, look, how should I fast? Do I need to do a long fast? Do I need to do a detox? Do I need to do a reset? And look, when it comes to fasting, similar to the ketogenic diet, where you can experience results in the short run, because essentially what you are doing is eating less of the troublemaker foods. You're eating less sugary foods. You're eating less carbohydrates. You're eating less refined foods, processed food, refined sugar, even processed foods. So yes, intermittent fasting in most cases will help for that reason. However, we do need to understand the downside of intermittent fasting. What it does is spike when you don't eat for a few hours, your blood sugar levels drop, which you might think, oh, that's a good thing. When your blood sugar drops, then essentially it releases cortisol. Now, when cortisol gets released or adrenaline gets released, because when people fast and they say, I feel great, I'm in the gym for hours and I feel fantastic, that's just adrenaline in most cases. So you get that adrenaline. What's the problem with that? Then your blood sugar levels drop. You have that high fat diet because you're typically going to be on a ketogenic diet when you're doing the intermittent fasting. And fat and adrenaline create a poisonous mixture for the pancreas. I don't need to say why that is a bad situation for you. So when you're doing that routinely over a course of months or even years, just routinely doing that, it's not helpful. Skipping meals is not better than eating a healing meal. A healing meal would be sweet potato. A healing meal would be, a little bit of avocado. A healing meal would be mineral rich, even some nuts. So we're still getting the fats in, but just healthier fats. A healing meal would be pumpkin. A healing meal would be broccoli. A healing meal would be green leafy vegetables, kale, spinach, quinoa. So I'm not saying you have to starve yourself. You can still eat carbohydrates, quinoa, sweet potato, pumpkin soup, sweet potato, mashed sweet potatoes, even sweet potato fries you can do as long as it's not deep fried in oil. Broccoli, kale, spinach, salads, fish. You don't have to starve yourself. You don't have to be a vegan. You can still do a lot of foods. Um, but a lot of people doing intermittent fasting are actually missing the opportunity to nourish their liver. You're much better off eating a handful of blueberries every 3, 4 hours than you would be starving yourself for 12 hours because all you're doing is dropping your blood sugar, spiking cortisol, and then most likely going to be eating a load of fat that is then, well, it's a two-stage thing because when you flood your body with adrenaline, your liver then has to soak all of that adrenaline up. So again, it's busy. Then it can't produce glycogen. Then you're going to eat a high fat diet. Then your liver has to be busy again doing that. So actually, the benefits of fasting is typically when it gives your body a chance to reset. But because you're dumping your body in cortisol, but you're sensitive to it as well, you're not actually getting that benefit. So the only benefit you are getting is not eating the rubbish. But if you're not eating rubbish anyway, you transition the diet the right way, you don't need that benefit. So, Mark, again, keto plus movement is one of the most effective ways to achieve remission, walking 10,000 steps daily. Well, again, we're combining two separate things here that are effective. So, as we've already established, keto can be effective in the short run, but it's not a long term solution, as you said. When you combine that with walking, well, yes, walking is one of the most effective things you can do if you're diabetic, because when you walk after a meal, it completely curbs the blood sugar spike. It completely spikes your insulin sensitivity. So actually you're able to absorb a lot of that blood glucose a lot more efficiently, and you can actually do it for hours after that walk. Weightlifting is the same, resistance training is the same. If you do resistance training in the morning or weight training in the morning, it spikes your insulin sensitivity for the whole day. So yes, exercise is of course the most effective thing you can do to help. Well, beyond just not eating a load of sugar, to help your diabetes. So look, but let's not conflate the two and say, well, you have to do keto with 10,000 steps. 10,000 steps is still great, even if you're shoving your face for the donuts every day. Obviously, I'm not recommending that, but they don't necessarily need to be combined to be effective, because one is a super effective, and that will drag up the keto diet and make it more effective. That doesn't make keto the most effective protocol. Um, okay, we're running out of time a little bit, so I'm going to talk about the protocol, because we've kind of been able to merge the challenge in. Thank you, Mark. In with the biggest mistakes. We are going to do the food ranking as well, so we'll kind of do a blended food ranking, as well as me talking about the herbs, and then yeah, I'll try and answer some questions as well. I know I've answered a few as I've gone through. I know I've missed some. I won't be able to answer all of them. Just looking at the time, we will do the giveaway as well now. So Jade, if you want to see what the giveaway prize is going to be today, and then yeah, I'll explain it, and in the meantime, I'll start ranking some foods.
Someone said, what about lobster? Just kicks you off.
Cool. So Jade just said, what about lobster? So lobster, I would actually give a probably a five. Five. Look, it's a bottom feeder in the ocean, so it's not got it's high in toxins, low in heavy metals. Not a food I'd recommend eating every day by any means, but it's probably not going to be the reason you're diabetic. So this is in the context of diabetes. All of these rankings, generally I'd probably give lobster like a three, but for the diabetes, probably a five. Yeah. If I was gonna give, like I'll start with the herbs in the protocol and why it works, and then I'll move on to the more any questions that you guys have. Oh, pardon me, I've got the hiccups now. Any questions that you guys have. So I'll start with some herbs. I'll start with the protocol, then I'll do some herbs outside of the protocol, and then I'll do um, just anything you guys have until we get to the end of time. So that'll be 10 more minutes. So yeah, we'll do it that way. I think that'll be the best way. All right, let me go to the guide, because that's probably the easiest place to start. Um, so what do we think about? I mean, there's so much. There's so much. We may even have to do a part. Well, we don't need a part two. I'd say read the guide, because there's so much more in the guide that I want to talk about today that I won't have time to. So much good information in there. It is. I'm gonna make it. I mean, it comes with the diabetes kit if you buy it on the website. If you get it on TikTok, I can't attach digital files. I will make a video on Instagram where you can just leave a comment and get the diabetes kit for free, so you won't have to pay for it. I'll probably do that tomorrow. So yeah, just to let you guys know that. Okay, so what would I rank? So yeah, Truro Rays, I'm lost here. We're talking about diabetes and how to reverse type 2 diabetes.
Yeah, just in the comment and was going
Oh, sweet. So first and foremost, we have to talk about black seed oil. Black seed oil scores probably an 8.5 out of 10 when it comes to diabetes. Why? It restores pancreas cells, super important. Unburdens the liver from pathogens, from all the toxins that the liver is dealing with, and it also repairs the nerves as well. So if you're someone that's got experienced neuropathy as a result of your diabetes, super important. It also helps improve insulin sensitivity, and it also helps curb blood sugar spikes. We've actually had some really cool videos on TikTok with people who are diabetic, literally taking a spurt and with their blood sugar monitor, and you can see the real instant impact it has on blood sugar. So super effective. The black seed oil scores an 8.5 out of 10. I'd recommend that daily, teaspoon a day, and that's why it's part of our kit. The ashwagandha, another secret weapon. Why? Scores probably a 9 out, well, probably an 8.5 again. It buffers the cortisol. So we spoke about the importance of the cortisol and the adrenaline. So it stops that poisoning, that chronic poisoning that happens to the pancreas. It also, again, helps to increase insulin sensitivity, also curbs blood sugar. So another all-rounder, but particularly from the hormonal perspective, the ashwagandha is super effective. And again, I would do that daily. I'd probably cycle it 3 weeks on, 1 week off, 4 grams a day. Then moringa. So I just saw a comment on asking about moringa. Moringa is probably a bit less potent, but a great support. I'd give it an 8 out of 10. The moringa helps the liver to detox, so addresses that point. Also helps insulin sensitivity. Also helps filter sugar out of the blood a little bit as well. And it has the unique ability to restore the pancreas as well. So if you're someone dealing with type 1 diabetes as well, you might find moringa helpful as well. I'm not saying that's a replacement for irregular insulin at all, but it can help the restore a damaged pancreas, the moringa. So I definitely give that one an 8, 8.5 out of 10.
Someone asked about soursop.
Soursop, I would give a 6.5 out of 10. It's good, depending if you're doing the leaf. The leaf is better than the fruit. In the case of diabetes, it's good, not the best. It's good.
Rosemary.
I'll just finish the kit first.
Sorry.
Yeah, and then last one in the kit, diabetes. Sorry, diabetes. Last one in the kit, Brahmi. Now, Brahmi is a really nice one because it helps the symptoms as well. So it's not just about preventing diabetes. It's not just about bringing your numbers down, but this is actually about helping some of the symptoms. So particularly that neuropathy. If you've got that nerve pain, if you've got any of that brain fog from diabetes as well, then the Brahmi is really effective in terms of repairing the nerves. It also lowers the blood sugar as well. So great support alongside the other herbs in the kit. And again, I'd recommend doing that 3 weeks on, 1 week off, 2 grams a day. So yeah, we see fantastic results with the diabetes kit. I would within 3 months. If you're following the reason why I love the diabetes kit is because I'm so confident that it works. Unfortunately, with natural healing, with natural health, a lot of it is kind of with you. We're beholden to the viruses, how aggressive the virus is. It can mutate. It can do lots of different things. With diabetes, if you follow the guidance, it's a bit like cholesterol. It's so within your wheelhouse that number will come down. It's almost impossible to follow this guide and for your numbers not to come down because it's so mechanical in that sense. So that's why I love this kit. That's why I wrote this guide. So as I say, it's pinned on TikTok. So for anyone on TikTok, no, the individual herbs are pinned on TikTok, so you can grab that there. Although, as I said, it doesn't come with the guide. So if you want the guide, then please do leave a comment on Instagram. I'll make a video tomorrow talking about diabetes, and I'll include it there. If you are on Instagram, you can jump, or anyone actually, you can jump on the website and get the kit as well. And that includes the guide, the full guide. It's literally 2 pages, 4 pages even, explaining exactly what you need to do to reverse diabetes step by step.
Someone just said, did he say diabetes is due to a virus?
Diabetes, type 1 diabetes can be due to a virus. So Epstein-Barr virus can mimic pancreatic cells to create an autoimmune type 1 diabetes condition. So yeah.
So lion's mane.
Lion's mane, I would give a 4, 5. I say 4. I like to say anything below a 5 is making the situation worse. 5 is not doing too much. It can help if you've got neuropathy, so it can definitely help some of the symptoms. If you've got brain fog, it can definitely help there. But in terms of reversing diabetes, less so.
Rosemary.
Rosemary is quite mild. I mean, you're not going to be eating bucket loads of rosemary every day. It's a great herb to include in your food. I'd give it a 7, but it's hard to get the volume to really. You can do rosemary teas and things like that. There are definitely better teas you can do. Yeah.
Did you say you're going to do a video tomorrow to send a guide?
Yes, I'll make a diabetes video tomorrow. Gurmar leaf. Now, Gurmar leaf, I would give a 10. Unfortunately, if it's not in the kit, it's something I would 100% recommend. Gurmar leaf, why? Because it helps to curb sugar cravings. Now, I'm not saying every single person with diabetes has sugar cravings, but a lot of people do. So if you chew the Gurmar leaf or drink the tea, it actually numbs sugar receptors, which is really important. and it also helps to regenerate damaged pancreas cells. So if you are someone dealing with type 1 diabetes as well, that gurmar leaf can be really helpful. So maybe I downgrade black seed oil. I'd probably give black seed oil a 10 as well because it's so diverse across the diabetes range. And then I'd give gurmar leaf because of its uniqueness and ability to curb those sugar receptors as well.
Someone said, what's your opinion about eating rice and blood sugar?
Yeah, rice. Brown rice is better than white rice. Wild rice is better than brown rice. Quinoa is better than all of those. So that's what I'd say about the rice. I wouldn't recommend it in a anti-diabetes diet. It's not the worst thing in the world. Like pasta is worse. But yeah, it's not something I'd recommend. How do you know a good black seed oil? Well, we sell black seed oil. We source ours from Turkey. It's cold pressed, unrefined, pure. So yeah, look no further. There are other good ones. Egyptian black seed oil is good as well. Yeah, but I'd recommend ours. Okay, I'm gonna start wrapping up. And if anyone has any other kind of queries about foods, then I will answer those. Look, I've seen a few blood pressure questions come in. I know it's a bit misleading on the TikTok. If you've got high blood pressure, we have a kit for that. It's a pretty, we see again great results with that kit as well. I'm gonna actually write a blood guide. We've got a 13-hour flight tomorrow. That's a great time to do it. So I'll probably write a blood guide tomorrow and get that with the blood kit. But we do actually have a blood kit on the website. On the website, it's great for blood pressure, cholesterol, anemia. So definitely check out the website for the blood kit, and you'll see the high blood pressure variation.
Could you just say the herbs that help with blood pressure now for people who?
I mean, there's lots of herbs that do. Ashwagandha helps. Moringa helps. The black seed oil helps with blood pressure. Shilajit helps with blood pressure. Yeah. Cholesterol. Black Brazil nuts, walnuts, both help with blood pressure as well. I do not recommend statins. Yeah, Brazil nuts are actually more beneficial than statins, statistically proven. Cinnamon is also really good for diabetes as well. I didn't say that one. Anything with berberine in it as well. So golden seal is really good. Barberry is really good as well. You can use all of those. So guys, look, a bit of a snappier session today. We might even do a part 2 on this one. Let me know if you want to see more on it. We're definitely going to do some more diabetes content since the bundle is since the guide is now live. But yeah, just to say thank you guys for joining. Thanks for the questions. Thank you, Mark. Oh, the giveaway. I didn't do the giveaway.
Yeah, I will.
So it was a refund. So what we're going to do is we will refund the next person who orders through the website with the code. What's the code? Live23.
No, there's no code at the moment. So,
We'll make it live. What's the day today? Live25. We'll make the code. Yeah, if you just order and we'll make a code Live25. The next person to order with Live25, we will refund your entire order. Whatever it is, we will refund the entire order. So first person to do it, unfortunately, to jump off, we won't be able to announce the winner on the live, which we like to do. But if you are the next person, we promise we will refund that order. ADHD, we've done the ADHD and autism session a couple of weeks ago, so we'll probably do it maybe next month. We've got a few more topics before we address that one again, but that was a really good one. You can actually find it on the Instagram. So if you scroll down and look at our live sessions, you can find the autism and ADHD. In fact, you know what? That was only an autism live. You're right. So we can do an ADHD specific live as well. So yeah, we'll add that to the rotation. Okay. We've also got 20% off our Brain Boost kit. That's what I was going to say. What's the code?
someone said eggs.
What's the code on the Brain Boost kit?
Boost 20.
Boost 20. So if you want to get 20% off the Brain Boost herbs, so the black seed oil, the lion's mane, the brahmi, then you can also, and ashwagandha, then you can also go on the website and use code Boost20. Guys, I've got to run, but it's been great. We're going to be back on Wednesday. So keep an eye out on the story to see what topic it's going to be. As I said, diabetes kit is available on the website. It's available on TikTok Shop. You can get 20% off the Brain Boost as well with both Boost 20. Next person to order with the code Live25 will get their order refunded on the website. Acne kit, good idea. We actually are going to do a streptococcus kit, which will be an acne kit. So yeah, keep an eye out for that.
In terms of time, we will announce it on the stories because we are moving from being ahead, where it's now 1:30 in the morning, to being behind. So we will announce the time on the stories on Wednesday morning.
Yeah, probably about 3 o'clock in for the UK. We'll probably keep it, put it in the mornings. But yeah.
8 a.m.
Okay, maybe about 5 o'clock. Maybe about 5 o'clock. But guys, I need to run. It's been great, and we will see you on Wednesday.
Thanks,
Thank you, everyone.
everyone.